Have you ever stopped to think about why we instinctively tell kids bedtime stories? Well, today's explainer dives into a timeless Indian parable that actually holds the ultimate secret to conquering pressure. We're going to unpack not just how to beat anxiety in the heat of the moment, but we're going to really explore the subconscious power of stories and how they can completely rewire the way our minds handle stress. So whether you're an adult facing a massive presentation at work or a parent trying to help your kid navigate the really heavy burden of school expectations, the ancient wisdom we're looking at today, it's going to completely change the way you look at performance.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Have your hands ever been shaking right before a big exam, a championship game, or, I don't know, maybe a massive job interview? Your heart is just pounding against your ribs, your palms are sweating, and your mind is racing a million miles an hour. Right? We've all been there. It is this deeply relatable, purely physical feeling of anxiety that just feels impossible to switch off once it gets going. And believe it or not, this exact same physical sensation is the main focal point of a story that is literally thousands of years old.
Part 1. Arjuna's Battlefield, Facing Inner Fear. So, to really understand this anxiety, we need to travel way back in time to a massive ancient battlefield. Meet Arjuna. Now, Arjuna is a prince, and not just any prince. He is a master archer, a warrior of absolutely unmatched skill, who has trained his entire life for this very moment. But right as his ultimate task is about to begin, before a single arrow is even fired, he sits down in his chariot and his mind is just completely hijacked. He starts asking himself, wait, what if I lose? If I don't do this perfectly, what is everyone going to think? What's the result going to be tomorrow? And this intense panic over an unknown future just completely paralyzes him. His hands start shaking so violently that this master archer actually drops his bow. He literally wants to quit entirely and just step aside. The core of Arjuna's problem really comes down to a super simple equation. Overthinking the result equals forgetting the duty. It's kind of like trying to parallel park your car while staring out the window at someone on the sidewalk who you think is judging you. You get so caught up in what they might be thinking that you completely forget how to turn the steering wheel. By obsessing over what might happen tomorrow, Arjuna totally lost touch with the present moment. His focus violently shifted from the action he needed to take to the outcome he was terrified of. And that specific mental shift from action to outcome is the absolute birthplace of anxiety.
Which brings us to part 2, Krishna's timeless advice. Fortunately for Arjuna, he was not alone in that chariot. His guide and dearest friend, Krishna, steps in. And seeing the greatest archer in the world reduced to this trembling mess, Krishna doesn't panic, he doesn't yell, he doesn't scold him. Instead, he steps in with a really calm, reassuring smile to offer a profound shift in perspective. He basically tells him, look, Arjuna, your job is just to try your best. Fearing the result or hoping for it, that's not in your hands. Put aside victory and defeat and just do your duty wholeheartedly. Krishna is explaining that the second you start worrying about the result, your actual focus on the task instantly plummets. Spending your mental energy on a future you literally can't control just bankrupts the energy you need for the present effort.
It is such a fascinating tale of two totally different mindsets. On one side, worrying about the result leads directly to fear, shaking hands, and dropped bows, because you're living in a hypothetical future. But on the flip side, focusing solely on the duty creates calm, laser-sharp focus and immediate action, because you are firmly rooted in the present. Hearing this really practical advice, Arjuna's mind suddenly cleared. He realized he was fighting ghosts of tomorrow rather than the actual battle in front of him today. He dropped his fear, focused all of his attention on the present moment, and calmly picked his bow right back up.
Let's move to part 3, 3 golden rules for conquering pressure.
So, how do we actually extract this epic ancient wisdom for our own everyday lives? Well, the source material breaks this down into 3 golden rules that literally anyone can apply. Step 1. Focus on effort. You have got to put your energy entirely into the doing, not the wishing. Step 2. No fear or anxiety. Realize that quote-unquote pre-fearing a failure that hasn't even happened yet is exactly what makes your hands shake in the first place. And step 3, enjoy the work. This is the ultimate goal here. You have to find joy in the practice itself, whether that's studying late for a science test or just practicing a free throw in the driveway.
Now, you and I might not be dodging literal arrows from chariots or worrying about charging elephants on ancient battlefields, but especially for our kids, modern battlefields are honestly just as daunting. Writing stressful exams, competing in youth sports, struggling to learn complex new subjects. I mean, society screams at them from a really young age to aim only for that first rank or that gold medal. But the archer's lesson tells us that asking, "Will I get the gold medal?" is absolutely the wrong question.
The goal is always doing your absolute best in the minute you are currently in, rather than pre-fearing the failure of not getting the prize.
And this brings us to a beautifully profound concept from the Bhagavad Gita. It states, Karmanyeva dikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. Now, what does that mean in plain English? Basically, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are absolutely not entitled to the fruits of that action. Simply put, love the effort more than the result. When you fall in love with the attempt, that heavy, suffocating pressure, it just evaporates. When you actually enjoy the work itself, suddenly, any difficult task becomes a whole lot easier and significantly happier.
Now for part 4, the power of the subconscious and reprogramming the mind.
Okay, so consciously understanding this concept is one thing, but how do we actually make it permanent? Well, this is where we tap into the subconscious power of stories. The subconscious mind is that deep, underlying vault of the brain that stores our core morals, our default beliefs, and our automatic reactions to stress. And the source material reveals something truly incredible here. As we or our kids drift off to sleep, this part of the brain becomes highly active and incredibly receptive. It becomes this perfect, frictionless window for psychological reprogramming.
By repeating this specific narrative at bedtime, it literally bypasses our conscious daytime worries. Bedtime listening reprograms the mind to automatically default to effort rather than anxiety. It acts as a passive, built-in tool for resilience. So the next time your kid, or hey, even you, faces a stressful math test or a high-stakes boardroom presentation, the brain automatically channels Arjuna picking up his bow rather than Arjuna dropping it in fear. The hands don't shake because the subconscious already knows the way. It's a real game changer.
If you found value in this deep dive into ancient wisdom and the subconscious mind, please support the channel. Drop a like, share this explainer with someone who might be facing their own personal battlefield today, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep exploring and learning these incredible concepts together.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. Think about the biggest challenge looming on your calendar right now. You know, the one that gives you that slight pit in your stomach. Are you obsessing over the outcome, or are you focused on the effort? So how will you face your next battlefield? Will you let the fear of the result make your hands shake, or will you calmly pick up your bow and simply do your best? Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer, and I'll see you in the next